What's going on, everybody? I bought a new gun. As you can see, quite obviously, it's a 1911. And you're probably seeing the markings on it, wondering, well, what kind is it? Well, it's branded as a Canuck 1911 for Canada, obviously. And you can tell by the markings on it. But the gun itself is actually manufactured by a company called Disassembly. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And it's actually made, as you can see right here, it's made in Turkey, which is interesting. Now these guns, I really wanted to look at them, but I hadn't seen a single video at all of them anywhere. Like, there's zero information on them. So I was very, very nervous when I first bought this gun because I wasn't sure what they were like. So I started doing my research, started looking around, and I realized that these are actually just a Tisos 1911 made in Turkey. And they've been around for quite some time. The guns themselves are actually very well received in Europe, as well as actually in the United States. So what's going on with this specific model is the base is a Tisos 1911. However, it's been rebranded as a, let's see if I can get this here, as a Canuck. And so it's called a Canuck 1911, but it's manufactured by a company called Tisos in Turkey. Continuing on, so to give you guys a little bit of information on this specific model, this one is a 45 ACP stainless steel, obviously with the Canadian markings. So what I'm going to be doing is just going over it and telling you what I know of these pistols, which isn't a whole lot, but I'm hoping maybe I can try and at least put something out there so people have a slight understanding of what's going on. So as I've said several times, they're manufactured in Turkey, imported into Canada by a company called Odell Engineering. Odell brings these in, and they basically do what you would call Canadianizing it. They don't come with any of these markings on it, nor do they come with these grips. What they did was they basically took a Tisos 1911 and made it a Canadian model and branded it Canuck. As far as I'm aware, you can't find these in the States, at least not like this. Yeah. So going over the pistol a little bit, let's show you some of the details. So as you can see, this model is stainless steel, and it's chambered in 40. I'm trying to work with the light here. It's chambered in 45 ACP. Now on it, you can see you've got the Canuck. I don't know what the hell that says. Pushlint? Cool. I'm assuming that's probably where Odell Engineering is. As well as right below that, you can see True North, Strong and Free. I really like that. When these first came into the country and started popping up on websites and gunners and things like that, especially on Canadian gun nuts, a lot of people actually really flamed this gun. And I found that very interesting, and the reason they flamed it is because of this right here. They're like, is it possible to get the gun without the Canuck engraved on the side? So the distributors were looking around talking, they're like, maybe, you know, if we can get enough interest in it, we'll get rid of that. But I don't mind it. I actually quite like it. It makes it a very Canadian gun, and I love that quality style, and the texture is very good. Now, continuing on, it does have it doesn't use a full-length guide rod. It uses a standard 1911 guide rod. On the base, it's got a 1913 style Picatinny rail with 3 slots. Gives you some breathing room. It's got cocking serrations on both the front and the back. It's also got Novak style anti-snag sights. Excellent sights. Continuing back, you have a skeletonized trigger as well as a skeletonized hammer. The trigger, I'm going to show you guys. It is, so you can see here. So it's not as good as some 1911 triggers. It's still not bad. It's still a very good trigger, but you can see it does have a little wee bit of play in it. You can see it. Still actually quite good though. It's not heavy. I'd say it's probably right around 4 pounds if I had to guess. Like, it's It's surprisingly light. Maybe not. Now let's show you guys the grips here. Now the grips, as you can see, got little maple leaves engraved all over them on both sides. That looks really good if you ask me with the stainless steel. I love the look of that. It is real wood. It's made out of a material called bloodwood. It's a very dark kind of redwood. Gorgeous though. The markings are very well done on this gun. Now I'm going to try and work with the light here. I'm going to give you guys an up close and just kind of show you the exterior of the gun. So I'm going to work with my camera here. You can see the finish is excellent. There's no machining or tooling marks, nothing. And these are known in the States as a budget 1911, which is very interesting. Because up here, this gun, I'm going to put this back on the tripod here. There we go. Show you guys my bill. So, I'm just curious, in the comment section, type how much you think this thing was. But, right here, so $725, taxes included, cost me $819.25. Not bad for 1911, because when I first looked at these, I thought bare minimum they'd probably be $1,300, if not more. So the price for quality is quite good. Like you're getting a lot of gun for the price, which is very, very nice. I really like this so far. Now, those of you who know me are probably a little surprised to see that I bought this. I've never been a fan of the 1911s, and never. Like same as revolvers. They've just never really rubbed me the right way. But I've always wanted a 1911. I used to have an STI Spartan 5, and I hated it. Hated everything about it. The 1911 in general, I'm very picky. So when looking at one of these, I had several requirements that if I ever got 1911, even though I was not a fan of them, there'd be specific things I want. One is it needs to be 45 ACP. Call me a purist if you like. Two is it has to be stainless steel. I like the stainless steel guns. And until now, they were all just way out of my price range. Which sucked, but... And the third is I wanted the 5-inch barrel. I wanted a full-length 1911, not the Commander. So... Gorgeous gun, though. Let me set this up to the side. I'll show you what comes in the box real quick. So in the box, you can see right here, T-sauce. You can see the box is not a very good quality, just FYI. It's got wear marks and bend marks and everything all over it. But to me, that doesn't really bother me because I don't give a flying shit about the box. I'm going to be putting this in a closet and that's where it's going to stay. But get these bullets out of the way. Solid 45 ACP slug. Alright, pop this open. So in it, warranty, manual, all this, CSSA. Now, the gun itself comes with these types of grips. These are the original grips that come with the gun. When Odell imports them, they put these on. Now, just a heads up, these are very thick. They're very thick, so it does widen the frame up a fair bit on the grip. Just so people are aware. But you can, if you don't like it, you can swap them out with the black ones. You also get this little piece of t-shirt. I don't know what this is. At the store, they called it a t-shirt. Like, here's your T-sauce t-shirt. Yay. And you get 2 magazines. Now, I was curious if they were going to be producing their own magazines or doing aftermarkets. They did aftermarket. Now we can see, let's see if I can try and show it here. Caliber 45. You might be able to see that. Made in Italy. These are Mekgar magazines. So they are a very good quality 1911 mag, and I think that's very smart. What T-sauce did was just using Mekgar magazines. Mekgar produces hundreds of magazines for different types of firearms, and they are very good quality. They are known for their quality. So I think this was a smart move on their part. And you get 2 of them. One comes in the gun, one in the plastic wrap. And they are 8-rounders. So you don't get the standard 7-round capacity mag. You actually get 8 rounds, which is the more the merrier, right? See if there's anything else. Oh yeah, you just cleaning kit, manual lock, the usual BS. still a little greasy. Ugh. The grease they send these guns in is horrid. It took me probably a good 25 minutes to take this thing apart and clean it all out and stuff, but bleh. Not very nice. Now, I'm going to point out, this gun is still very stiff. I haven't fired it yet. I literally just got home from the store about 20 minutes ago after my transfer was completed to pick this up. But when I rack this, it is very stiff. And it's also kind of gritty. It is quite... Now, I honest to God, I don't know much about 1911s. The original one I had, I put 120 rounds through it, and then I left it, and I haven't touched it, and I just ended up getting rid of it. This guy is gritty, and it is stiff. Now, I would assume it's stiff just because of the spring. Makes sense. It's not worked in yet. But I have a feeling 1911s are known for having a break-in period. I have a feeling probably when I put a couple hundred rounds to this thing, it's gonna loosen up. I bought, ammunition-wise, I bought 200 rounds of this Wolf 45 ACP. I'm going to run it with that. It's just 230 grain ball. So it should work just fine. And if it doesn't eat that Wolf stuff, I'm going to destroy this gun. So. You got to admit, though, that's a gorgeous gun. Barrel stainless steel. I'm going to strip it apart. I want to show you guys the insides, and then I'm going to cut the video out. Oh, yeah, I did not get all the grease off this thing. Ah. I don't know what type of grease they use, but it's disgusting. All right, so showing you guys the internals. Pretty 1911-like. You got your standard, you got your plug, or your, I don't know what that's called. I call it a plug. You got your short recoil spring and guide rod, or your short guide rod and your recoil spring. This recoil spring is stiff. Holy Christ. Here's your lock for the front of the gun. Now, I honest to God, guys, I really don't know a lot about 1911, so I don't know what a lot of this is called. Please forgive me. By all means, tell me what it's called, please. Here's your barrel. Very 1911-like. Stainless steel. Slide. I'm going to see if I can show you guys the internals of the... Try and work with the light here. I want to show you guys what it looks like on the inside. Now on the inside, you can see it. There is some tooling marks. But not a lot. Just on the little hard to reach crevices, there's little tooling marks. But the gun itself is actually, it looks like a very good quality. Oh, internal extractor, if that matters to you. I don't care. Barrel does have some marking on it, but I have a feeling that's probably just from me racking it and the test firing from the factory. Frame. You guys like my stand I'm using? There are some marks on here. I don't know if that's tooling marks or if that's just from racking it, but... Oh, there you go. There's some tooling marks. Gorgeous gun. Gorgeous gun. But that's the gun. From what I've been hearing, reliability on these things is fantastic. I've never heard of any complaints about T-Sauce 1911s. There are a lot of videos out there comparing them to things like Kimbers and Smith & Wesson's, Colts, and they actually hold their own, which is very surprising for a budget 1911. In Canada, honest to God, I would not consider this a budget... Let me put the camera back on the stand. I would not consider this as a budget 1911. I really wouldn't. It is still fairly pricey. You know, $700 or $819 what I paid. They retail for $749.99. Well, $749 to $799 depending on who you buy from. Now, as I showed you, I actually got a little bit better of a price. I'm very good friends with the owner at the gun store. I also spend tens of thousands of dollars there every year, so you know he knocked a couple of bucks off for me. But if you wonder where I bought this, I bought it from South Frontenac Rental Center. It's called theammosource.com. I'm not going to attach a link in the description because from what I hear, if you do that, they'll ban your account. So fuck you, YouTube. But this is the gun. Absolutely gorgeous gun. I love it. grip these bigger grips actually feel fantastic. I haven't put the smaller ones on, but uses hex heads. These ones use a flathead screwdriver. I'm probably just gonna get rid of these. Anywho, that's the T-Sauce 1911. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will see you all next time with probably an update on this gun just to let you know how it works. Thanks.